Welcome, Taurus, to your March 1st through the 15th general reading. I've got your Celtic cross laid out in front of me here. Keep in mind this will be a general reading, so you know what I say is going to hit. Like, some of the stuff will hit, but it might not all hit. So take the things that resonate with you, especially if there's one or two things that really resonate with you, and make an appointment with me through my Schedulicity link, which is just below the video. And the website will have you make an account. It takes 2 minutes, and then you can see my whole calendar and pick a time that works best for you. And readings are free because I'm not charging for readings yet. Very new to reading tarot for the general public, and just trying to get experience. So please schedule an appointment at any of those times, and I look forward to hearing from you guys. And those individual readings is a lot more easy to explore the whatever is going on personally for you, but you know that, so let's jump in. Before we jump in, I was thinking as I was laying out your spread, just like how grateful I am for the Taurus energy. I'm a Pisces, and I'm so often, way out in the deep end, swimming in some mystical or fantastical vision and whatnot, and that feminine earth energy that you put out there is so grounding and so comforting. So I appreciate you, Taurus. Let's go with Tauri. So at the heart of your situation for March 1st here, we've got the Two of Wands. And so it really resonates with that stability that we talk about with you. Two Wands is like that. There's that fire energy that we get with wands, so it's like you've taken your drive out into the world and you've reached a period of success and stability. Got a guy standing on top of the city wall there, gazing out at the bay. He's so firmly between those two poles. Like, he knows, there's a sense of knowing his strengths and his skills and the stuff that got him there. But the world, he's holding that world in his hands, right? That small world in his hands. So it's like, he's not quite like the King of Wands. He's not leaning off his throne, but his world between those two wands is kind of small, and he's ready for he's looking off at whatever that next thing might be. So congratulations on the period of stability that you're at, and that's complemented by the Ace of Pentacles, which, check out the walled-in, the walled-in garden, and the growth here, and this earthbound pentacle energy. That Ace is the gift of the suit. So Ace of Pentacles is, again, that garden around you, right? It's not a wall, it's a garden. It's this as far as what that gift is, it's like you're so comfortably surrounded by the fruits of your labor, and with Pentacles, it's usually going to be a job thing. But because we've got two cards that are meaning similar things, what becomes important on the Ace of Pentacles, and what I'm really seeing here, is that pathway out of the garden. So it's not like you're leaping into some new venture or some new job. It's more like, because you've been successful and reached this point of stability, Tauri, you're ready to leave that comfort zone and try something new, but not in a really intense way. In your recent past, we've got the Knight of Wands, and this could sum up an entire period of your life, and it could sum up like just going to the supermarket yesterday. But, I mean, this is, of all the nights, like he's leaping in with his fire. Really, this is like that really intense involvement with a career. And he's got these salamanders on his cloak that aren't quite complete. So this is, for me, a lot of times this card means like the prime of someone's career, where all of your where there's like this growing sense of confidence in your ability, and things are really clicking at work. So that's in your recent past, and so that fits well with the heart of the situation, where it's like you've come through this period of relative success, and here you are at this moment where it's like, okay, I've got some stability and I can start checking out something else. But again, you're not charging into anything. The basis of the situation is interesting. So almost everything in your reading is really like a lot of stability. The base of the situation is the Seven of Swords, and we've got this guy tiptoeing and stealing these swords, but he can't get them all. He leaves two behind, and in the background, there's this battle going on. And with this one, it's really, so this is the basis. This is kind of explains why you're here. So it's almost like everything that I've told you about your job, your job situation, or the relative period of stability and looking for something new. It's like you know that already. But there's this weird thing where you got all this stability, and then, the Seven of Swords, which really means scheming. It's like attacking some situation in a way that's not really having any effect at all. Going behind someone's back. He's stealing these swords, and he's doing it all alone. He's not doing it with the help of friends. He hasn't gone to other people. So we're gonna keep going through the reading and seeing if something can help us circle back to what's going on at the basis of your situation, Tauri. But there's some kind of scheming that's happening, or some kind of plotting, and this could be you or someone in your life. All right, in the near future, we have the Page of Pentacles. This is the student card. This is being intensely focused on some new area of study, and so it fits it really well with everything we said about the heart of the situation. So when I talked about you setting out from that garden and that period of stability, it feels like pursuing a master's, or just kind of getting well educated on some new hobby. But there's some new area of interest, like something that you're intensely interested in, that great, think freshman year, for those that went like freshman year of college, or maybe even more apt, like the sophomore year of college, when you get into your degree, and everything you're talking about in class is stuff you're passionate about. It's that kind of energy that we get from the Page of Pentacles. So that's coming up in your near future. Potential outcome, just more stability for you. So we've got the Four of Wands here, and so we've got this couple in marriage garb, and they're not trapped in the city, they're outside the city wall, but there's still all of this stability holding up the wreath here. And so it's like, and even more so, they've got this whole band of friends of them. So this is really like a potential outcome card. This is like the coming together of you and a significant other and your friends. It's like this really stable period of relationships, and all the gold in the card is, and the joy that comes from that. So that is in your potential outcome card. So it could be that what's going on is that Seven of Swords is cluing us in on some kind of scheming that's going on within your friend group or within your family, where there's some issue that people keep attacking or bringing up, but it's not really helping anyone. It's just hurting things. But the potential outcome suggests that that issue will be resolved. So let's start moving up the pillar in the Celtic Cross. So the first two steps up that pillar are the self and the environment. So it's kind of like, what are you, like, what's the kind of energy that you're bringing to your current situation? And then what energy is there in your environment? So we've got the Six of Swords, and Six of Swords is, I love this card for its complexity. There's a lot going on. The big thing for me is, well, here's the thing. It's easy to get stuck on the cloaked figure here that's bowing her head in sorrow, and looks like she's got her kid with her. And I mean, geez, you see 6 swords in a boat. So, and whenever we, like with a lot of swords cards, it's initially, it looks dire, but what I love about this card is the movement, is the relatively rough waters here, and moving toward this more serene place of peace. And this black pole, Rachel Pollack talks about that black pole, the black representing potentiality, like change, like potentiality as in anything could happen. Like black is that color where that could eventually become any other color. And so, I mean, the Six of Swords though represent those sorrows that we all carry. And so in reverse, we get someone that's kind of stuck on things, or has become disrupted or is attacking their issues. But upright like this just means that you're letting those sorrows flow. So as far as unit situation, it's like you have come to this great place where you're able to row your boat. Your sorrows aren't sinking you. You're still moving forward, and I mean, it looks like it's panned out for you for the most part. In your environment, we've got the Magician card, and it does feel very connected to your career. That Magician is this master manipulator, not manipulator in a negative sense at all, but like able to take those big energies of the universe and channel them down into his or her work. This card is, I mean, this is like that flow card. Like, you've gone through the experience to craft all of these tools for you. You have all the tools available that you need to take this fast, unformed energy and this immense energy of the world and channel it into the work. I mean, that really is magic when you can do this. I mean, usually this is a card of, I shouldn't even say that. It's just a card that gets associated a lot with artists and creative types, but it's not necessarily you. So anyway, that's your environment right now. So maybe that's why you've got so much, I mean, there's so much like success and stability here, Aries. So so maybe that's it. Maybe you're you could very well be one of those lucky few that found your line of work where it really stretches all of your strengths, all of your tools in such a way that it allows you to channel things out into the real world in the best possible way. So that's really cool. That is your current environment. Your hopes and fears card is the Eight of Pentacles. This makes a lot of sense with that Page of Pentacles. Here you've got an apprentice with this ragged clothing, and he's just, he's working away. And then there's this road leading back to the city. So it's like, it could be that you're just hoping to renew that energy that comes to when you first get into a line of work, and it's something that's your thing and it's clicking for you, and you just get consumed by your work. Not in a way where you're escaping from the world, but in a way where it's like your passion for the job is there, and the time to do the work is there, and your skills are starting to develop. And so it's just this glorious period because there's all this time that you spend. There's all this like frustration and failure that comes with learning a new task, that when things start really gelling, there's this really exciting period. And so it feels like maybe what's going on is, especially with there's almost a sense of boredom here with that small world, where it's like, if you're that magician type Aries, it's like you are hungry for that. Like, this is where, if you think about, I read a lot of Rolling Stone, where a lot of these musicians talk about, they've got these weird things where like, and I guess a lot of artists in general, where they go into a studio and they go through these periods where it's like 4 months and they're in the studio for 12 to 18 hours a day, just working and being completely consumed by their work. And then as a result, they need this long period of rest afterward. So there's this nice pattern coming up in your reading where it's like you've gone through that long period of work, and you've reached this plateau, and it's nice and stable, and now you're on to the next thing, and you're hoping for like a renewal of that kind of energy, that kind of impassioned involvement. So I think it's interesting that our outcome card, so the overall outcome of the reading is Justice. Okay, Justice with his balanced scales and his sword of truth upright, and his merciful white sock coming out the bottom there. So because the really interesting dynamic for you for this reading, Taurus, is that 4 of Wands and the potential outcome, and then on the flip side of it is the 7 of Swords. So the Justice card, Justice card is like truth winning out. Like, you're gonna see into whatever this scheming is, or get to the bottom of whatever this person, or maybe it's you, is that's attacking this situation in a way that's doing nothing and not helping anything. And then that potential outcome card, we've got that 4 of Wands, that return to that period of stability within your relationships. So just with the scheming and with the truth that comes along with Justice, outcome really feels like you're going to see into it. Let me turn one more card and just see what we get from Justice. See if we get any signs of like whether this has to do with your job or the other one. Yeah, so we've got the Chariot in reverse. So it's like whatever these schemes and plots are, it's like you can't. It's not a situation that you can resolve with your willpower, which has been something that has served you well. Obviously, in your line of work, it's something that you just have to wait for. I mean, justice in the outcome. Justice is going to be had, and the universe, that balancing power of the universe, which is always, always amazes you when you encounter it, is going to happen. Call it karmic. It's going to happen. But overall, I mean, Tauri, congrats on the stability, and good luck in whatever this new. Good luck on whatever this new educational venture is. I hope it gives you that burst of renewed energy that you're looking for. So hope to hear from some of you in the individual readings. Otherwise, I will check in with you again mid-March. Thanks for stopping by.